Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new week and a new surprise today. Couldn't be more happy to have again here with me. This time, not in the same room, unfortunately, due all what is happening, but at least talking with us, Oscar from HAMMERFALL. Welcome back, Oscar.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, thank you so much to you. I asked him before, like, do you remember me? Because obviously it is hard to remember when you are a musician and you've been there for 25 years. And he was like, yeah, I remember that cold room where we were. So that is nice. Because we
It's
met before on
always
Leyendas del Rock and Oscars were
yes.
super nice.
It's always good to have something to hang it up on. Like the cold room was something that differed, that made this interview stand out in a way that sort of like as you said, we've been doing this for 23 years. It's really difficult to remember every single interview. Some people do that. Some people can. I'm absolutely not good at that. So, but I did remember this, and we did not do that many festivals last year. Even we haven't done that many shows. So. But you must have made some kind of impression on me anyway, right?
Normally it's the hair. So
Yeah, that might be it actually. Did you have the same color back then?
yes. Well, I
Yeah,
added
so
some
that
purple on the
okay.
back, but it was pink.
Yeah.
It's been pink for many
Right.
years.
So I'm sure that helped a lot too.
Yeah, that helps me a lot too when I want to go in somewhere and the guys are the same. It's like, it's you again. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Well,
Now it's like, you cannot
it's
change
nice.
it
I mean, it's
now.
good to have something that makes you stand out. No, of course not.
Well, I was thinking about it, but let's keep the pink. Let's keep the pink so far.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Well,
So,
there's always time.
yeah, exactly. I mean, especially now, right?
Yes, especially now.
So, Oscar, as we were discussing before, last year and the beginning of this one, we could still enjoy you guys a little bit live with your World Dominion tour. And I've noticed it like in this latest tour, guys, HAMMERFALL gave it everything. Like you guys had the pyrotechnics, you went to big arenas, you got a grand live production. So how did that feel during the last tour?
Well, it was about time to do something like that to take a step up in terms of the places that we booked for the shows, and in order to do that, we had of course to update and upgrade the stage shows, of course, and pyros were a part of that. But we also had the big setup with the on this tour that we did with the hammer in the middle and the different levels where you can stand on and go up and play a solo up there, or we had even microphones up on the podiums too. So we had a couple of different places you could do backing vocals on too. So it was a big production, and it was really fun to do. I think it might have been our biggest so far, and it was really fun to get this captured on tape, or on tape, yeah, that's how you said it in the 80s, on film, I should say. You captured it on film, so that you got something, a very special moment that we got to capture live for posterity, basically. And I'm very happy that we got to do this on this tour particularly.
Yeah, and that's great. And guys, and actually we have something really good coming out from your latest tour, because you are having some new material for us and for all the fans that is going to be out there this month. On the 23rd of October, you've got the Live Against the World coming out.
Yes.
So,
It's the 23rd. Yes,
wow.
23rd. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Now,
on the 23rd.
I mean, we were really fortunate in some ways, because we had this tour booked for a long time before, of course, and it ended at the very end of February, and then we got home, and then the whole world shut down basically after that. So we were really fortunate that we got to complete the tour without any canceled shows. On that, we had to cancel some Scandinavian shows right after, but on this particular tour, we did not cancel anything. We got to finish that one, which was really great for us. And another great thing was, of course, that we had this recording. The plan was, COVID or not, we had the plan to record this and to release this around September, October anyway. So that didn't change because of the pandemic. But it was really good that we had something like this to work on, because summers are filled with stage appearances and festivals and stuff, which we didn't do this summer. So we put our hearts into that work instead, which was fun, hard work. I mean, we spent a lot of time selecting pictures and going through, watching yourself play the songs 1,000 times in a row just to get the right angles and all that stuff. So there was a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and it's good that we had this to do because we were, we were all otherwise not so occupied as we normally are. So I'm very happy with this release. To be honest, I think it took a while to get it together, but once we have it, I think it's a perfect statement of where HAMMERFALL is in 2020 as a band and as a live act, and where we stand with the fans too, because this was recorded in Germany with the German fans were, I think I would dare say, the first that embraced us completely, that said HAMMERFALL is our band. They were before even the Swedish people. So for us, the German fans are always going to be special, and it's been 23 years. We have not recorded anything in front of those people before. So now I'm finally happy that we actually got to do that this time, and they did not disappoint. Let me tell you that.
Oh wow, that's amazing, and I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be like super happy when this comes out, and it comes out in so many formats, guys. Like I made my notes here, I have them with me, because there were so many formats that I said to myself, girl, there's no way you're gonna memorize that, so you better write it down. And I wanted to name it so all your fans, when they watch this interview just before it comes out, they know where they're gonna be able to purchase. So you guys got the Blu-ray plus the 2 CD digipack, then you got 2 different vinyl styles, then you also got 2 different earbooks, including 2 CDs and the Blu-ray, the 2 CD digipack, and a t-shirt, and the digital album. Guys,
okay.
Wow.
Well, it's I think it's just a matter of like one of these. This is basically decided by the label, right? So we wanted to have a DVD as well, but there's only Blu-ray, so no DVD on this release. But that's a label decision, and all these what they want to do basically is that's all their decision. What they want to come up with. I think I actually have the product today. I got it sent to me. I opened it. I haven't opened the actual product, but the boxes I've opened today. So I have seen it now, what it looks like in real life, and it's pretty cool. I haven't seen the yearbook yet. They haven't put that out, but I think it's just a matter of catering to a bunch of different audiences, I guess. A bunch of different, like, some people would love to have the vinyl, and other people don't care about the vinyl at all. They want the digital part, or some people may want to want to watch the show, and maybe they don't even use the audio CDs, or vice versa. So there's a bunch of different tastes that people have to be able to accommodate, I guess.
Wow, yeah, and actually I'm just still wondering, what the hell am I gonna get? I mean, I have so many options. The problem is that normally when I have so many options, I like more than 2. That's my problem. Yeah. But that will sort it out. I will. So it's gonna be out on the 23rd of October, but as you said, you recorded that in Germany on the 15th of February. And on the live, I know that we can find like the new songs from the Minion, bunch of them, the classics, but also we can find like songs that you haven't been playing for a while. So is that to satisfy yourself, guys? Like to say, guys, we've been here for 23 years now. Let's play some old stuff that we haven't played live that much. Or, hey, let's do it. Let's satisfy ourselves, but also the fans.
I mean, if we weren't gonna do these songs, like the unexpected songs, I'd probably kill myself before the end of the tour. If all I had to do was just play the old stuff over and over. But I that's why I like this so much. It's like exactly what you said. It's the classics, of course. There's some new stuff, but there's also unexpected stuff. So there's something for everybody. Even if you are a diehard fan of HAMMERFALL, you heard Hearts on Fire or Last Man Standing live a million times before. You still have Redemption, for example, which is one of my favorite songs. It didn't come out. I mean, we never even rehearsed this song before we recorded it. Much less played it live anywhere. So this song it was very cool that this song made it onto the into the set list and onto this release. I think that's important. As a fan of like a lot of different bands, if they only do the classic songs, I'm gonna be pissed, because I don't want to hear it. I heard those before, right? So if you're really a big fan of a band, you want to hear at least something. You give me something to work with, because then you will appreciate the other stuff much more too. And from our point of view, I think we wanted to put on the biggest and most encompassing show that we could think of, and to do that we needed all these different songs. So like we have Redemption, as I mentioned. We got a couple of songs from Renegade that we've never done before, or no, that we haven't done in a very long time, I should say. We also have, from the new part or new portion of this, we did a duet with Nora from
Battle Beast. I know.
Right, so that's another aspect, another dynamic to make this show, the whole of the show, complete. And I think that all these songs play a very important role in making that.
And actually, now that you mentioned that you got a special guest, Nora. Nora is like an absolutely amazing singer. She sings in Battle Beast. And you guys sing together second to one. So like you show your emotional side there. How did that happen? How did that collab happen?
Well, the song was written and recorded at the time, and this was going to be on the album, and it's actually on the album. But the version with Nora came about because it was decided that we were going to have them as special guests on this tour, and Joachim suggested to her or to us that we would see if they could make it into a duet. So we had already recorded the song. That's the album version of the song, of course. But then when the single came out, the single was actually the duet with Nora. Because she came here to Gothenburg for a day or two and sung her lines in the studio. We recorded some video material for that as well, and which was edited together by Patrick Leus, and just made into a nice showcase video for that song. And I don't think we had any those big aspirations initially for that song. It's a song actually incidentally written by Joachim and myself together with James Michael, which is the first. James Michael is the producer of Infected, the singer of 6 AM, the songwriter and producer of many Motley Crue songs and albums, and also the vocal producer of HAMMERFALL since for 10 years now. So we have a really good relationship with that guy. We've known him. He's a really good friend. He is a tremendous artist and musician. So we felt like, why not try to work, to go over to, he lives in LA. So Joachim said, let's go over to LA for a songwriting weekend, so to speak, which is what it was. I mean, we came, we arrived on a Thursday afternoon and left on a Monday morning, I think. And that's, we didn't know, we had no idea how that's gonna turn out. But in worst case, we got a weekend in LA out of it. That's it,
Exactly. At least you partied. You were with him for a bit. You were in LA, which is always nice, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we actually did not do any partying whatsoever. We were so jet lagged that I think we went to a restaurant once, maybe. I don't even remember. We were just
come on, guys,
really
you were in LA. But
we've
you were there for
many times
music,
before.
so.
No, we were there to write music, which we on Friday morning, like the song, we met James in the studio on Friday morning, and by Friday early afternoon the song was done. It was just boom, like that. So
wow,
that it was really fast, and I had a ton of stuff that like ideas with me, and this is the first one I want to try and see what happens, because James is a great piano player, and I don't know how to play piano very well. So I had this idea based on a guitar riff, a guitar lick for acoustic guitar that I had tried to make into a piano thing. But of course, I knew that coming from it played by the fingers of a great pianist. Of course, it's going to sound much better. So I played him this, not really knowing if he was going to grab the bait, so to speak, or not. But he instantly said, "Oh yeah, let's work with this." And well, how are you guys thinking about this? And he started playing. And then all of a sudden, we were all three there. That's how a great song gets made, I think, or at least that's the great fun to make a song like that, because you're just improvising and talking and coming up with ideas and and stuff like that. So we recorded a demo of that song. I think we recorded. It wasn't 100% done. I think we did some guitar stuff. The middle guitar parts, I think we did the next day, next morning. But we had basically an outline of the song finished right away, and Joachim wrote the lyrics afterwards, because that takes a little bit different. He needs to get into the vibe of the song for that. But but that was a really cool song to write, and a really cool way to do this. And I'm so glad that this song, because it turned out great. It turned out to be a really good song, but also it got that extra special spice when we did it
Mm-hmm.
into a duet with Nora. And just playing it live, of course, Nora is, like you said, she's a singer of Battle Beats, and she's a tremendous singer. She's got such a powerful
Yes.
voice.
Yes.
And the voice with Joachim and the voice of Nora just went like this together, in my opinion. I think it felt so great. So every time we play that song, while there's not a lot of guitars until like the middle and towards the end a little bit, but I was just standing behind stage and hearing them in my ears and just getting goosebumps because it sounded so damn good. So it's a really good version of this song for sure.
Oh, that's so nice. I can't wait to listen to the live song. Man, you. I mean, you gave me the hype now.
Oh, so you haven't you heard
No,
the album?
not yet, not yet, not yet.
Oh.
Not that one, not that one.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do it in like
Yeah.
what, 2 weeks. So I'm gonna do it
Right.
very very soon. And
Yeah, it's only 2
honestly,
weeks.
yeah, Nora is a beast, right? Singing, and so is Joachim. So I guess that they complement each other very well. And now that
Yeah.
you said it, well, let's go for the 23rd to hear it. But there's something more that we can hear in here, and you haven't mentioned, because we've got a medley from Renegade. Because guys, it's been 20 years, right?
Yes, this year.
Wow. So how did that medley happen? You were like, guys, like, let's do something. It's been 20 years. Let's grab
Yeah,
it.
well, we've done this. We've done this over the years, actually. Last, let's say, 5 years, we've done a medley. The first one came about because let's not get into that. It doesn't matter. we
Up to
were
you. Up
supposed
to you.
be-
This is your time. Up to you. You want to give
well,
it?
well, okay. So we had Stefan, our old guitar player, came back for a tour, or for 6 months to do bass actually on this tour, because
Okay.
Frederick had to be home. He's going to have another child at that time, so he stayed home, and we brought in Stefan as a replacement, but on bass. So we decided to sort of show, because people love Stefan, and they thought it was great to see him back, but he was only playing the bass, so we thought, let's make a medley out of songs that he can play guitar to, and Pontus was going to play the bass. And that's how the medley idea started. So we played a medley on that, and that was so much fun to do that. So we decided for the next tour, let's do another medley, and that was 2017 now. So, and that's the 20-year anniversary of Glory to the Brave, our first album. So we focused on that album for that medley, and then the next year we focused on Legacy of Kings for that medley for 2018. And now it's 2020. We have, of course, Renegade. That's the 20-year anniversary. So we did a focus on that. So it was nothing special, like we're going to record the show. Let's do this. This was just a part of the normal tour. But it was also great to shine a spotlight on that album a little bit extra, because it was for us the most important album that we ever released, I think.
Yeah, and actually, after 23 years of career, now that you're having Live Against the World coming out this October, and if you look back on your own career and on HAMMERFALL's career, what do you think about it? Like when you sit down and relax at your home with your cup of tea or coffee, and you think about, wow, what have I done? What we've become together? What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I usually don't think about things like this unless I get asked about them, like you do right now. So some
There
people
you
have
go.
asked me about this. Yeah. So I have thought a little bit about it, but I'm not really an introspective person. I don't really ponder the meaning of life, so to speak, or why are we here, stuff like that. I'm generally more of I like to enjoy my life, and I try to make everything happen that my life is good in every way that I can, instead of thinking about what I could have done or what I have done. But of course, it's inevitable to start thinking about, like, 23 years is a long time to do something like this, and Joachim and I have been on this ride together for this whole time, and there's no way that HAMMERFALL would be anywhere what it is right now if Joachim hadn't come into the band at the point when he did come into the band. We built this whole thing together with the help of the others, of course, but it's only him and I since the very beginning. So it is a very special bond, I think, that we have, but also a very special relationship in terms of how the vision of HAMMERFALL was supposed to be. And back then, we realized to the absolute best of our potential. That everything we wanted to do, we did rather, I should say. And that's something I will be always very proud of. You know, we had a vision, we had an idea, we love this music, so we want to perform this music. We want to give this music more attention than it has at the present, because the mid '90s was fucking shit for heavy metal. So that's why we didn't have really any aspirations either. We didn't think that this was going to happen. We just wanted it to happen. But you know how they say, sometimes you can will things into existence, and persistence and hard work and a lot of timing and some luck, of course, and then great attitude and great knowledge of what we were doing and all that stuff, whatever came together. And then once we had something that we knew that we had something going, we decided, because we were all like childhood fans of heavy metal, and that's why we did this in the first place. So it was really easy for us to just keep on going with this, because we weren't done just for one album. Our idea was never to succeed or become famous. Our idea was to play heavy metal music to the best of our abilities. So it was very easy to continue with that. And 23 years later, if I look at all the stuff we've done, it's incredible. You know, I would never in my wildest dreams have believed you if you told me this in 97 or 96 or 95, whatever. I would never have believed you. But you at after times, it's just it's been a fun as hell ride to be on. To be honest, I'm fortunate to be able to turn my hobby or my passion into my living, basically. So I've been living off of this since the first album came out. So I've been very fortunate in that respect. I never had to juggle two works to get this album to work. Because, well, okay, that's not entirely true. Because when we recorded Glory to the Brave, I was working as a half-time math teacher. At the same time, I was studying full-time at the university, and we were recording the album for a couple of weeks. Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
We paid our dues before, of course, but it was very nice feeling that when we actually made it, that we could ride the wave up until this point.
So sorry, but I got something from that, and you're a math teacher? No way! No way! Guys,
Well,
if you need any help, you know who to contact with.
It sounds a lot bigger than it was. I was a math teacher. That's true. Never had any formal education for that. I did go to learn. So when I finished my, I guess it's after high school. You go not to the university. This is like 3 years before high school and university here in Sweden.
Yes.
I don't know how they set up in Spain, but.
Here's 2 years
But that's the way
before,
it is. So that, okay, right. So those years, I only had math for 1 year, and that's it. So because I studied languages and other things. So when I got out of that, I figured I don't really know what to do with myself. So I'm going to complement my math studies a little bit on they call it it's like a city-run school for adults who want to complete their grades, kind of stuff, whatever. So I did that. So when I was a math teacher, I also, again, like just pure luck. My neighbor at that time, I was living with my mom at that time, and she knew that my brother, our neighbor was a teacher at this school, and she knew that my brother had studied economics and stuff. So she came over to our house to ask him if he wanted to just because the school was starting in a couple of days, and they did not have a math teacher for a 50% role there. So it was pretty, like, they were desperate, basically. And he said, I can't do it. I'm studying in a different city every week, so there's no way I can do it. But I was just lounging around doing nothing. I didn't have any plans for my life at that point. So, and she said, well, what about you, Oscar? It's like, I don't know math. How can I do this? But then she told me, it's not difficult because it was not math on a high level. Of course, I could not have done that. But it was math on a level where the people who are like are starting to become hairdressers or waiters or chefs. That sort of that. So that just the basic math, basically. And as luck would have it, that's exactly what I just had finished at my studies myself. So the things I was teaching them, I just learned myself, like last week, or last semester or last year or whatever it was. So every time I was going to teach them something new, I had to go through that chapter again just to refresh my memory, so I knew what I was talking about. But it was pretty fun. I was like 4 years older than they or something. Maybe a bit more, like 6 years older than some of them. But some of them were also over 20. I was 24 at this time. Or 20, yeah, 24 at this time. And some of these were 18, 19-year-olds, but some of them were 22 as well. So, they took a year off before they went into the school. So it was a big thing. I spent a lot of time actually working there, like doing other things too, because I got assignments for, like, some people had. I did everything from history to religion to Swedish to English or whatever it was.
Wow.
They needed a substitute teacher for a lesson or a class. They called me in because I was already there anyway. So I worked much more than 50%, but that's what was that's what they say when they hire me, was for 50%.
Well, let me tell you that if you would be doing this today, I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of people interested in being taught by you.
Well, it came out at the right time for me. I had nothing to do. I did this, and I was pretty good at it, but I wasn't great because I did not have any of these, like any of the skills, like teacher skills. I didn't have any of those, or how to handle kids or well, young adults or whatever you want to call those. They were people that in that age group. I did not know how to handle those people, so I just winged everything basically. And it worked for the most part. I had a good time, but then after a year, the school said, we can't employ you for another year because now regulations have come. Because I didn't have any from education, they needed to hire people who actually had an education. So I was just the last minute replacement that went on for a year, and then I was out. But that was good because by that time we already were doing HAMMERFALL anyway. So I didn't really have. I wouldn't have said yes even if they asked me to do it. So.
Well, there you go. It worked at the time, and now pretty much the young people that were it for you were like, "Hey, I've seen this guy around. Who's this guy?"
Well, since we did record the album, the Glory to the Brave album, at that time, I was very into that, and I talked to some of my students. They were also, rock or metal fans or whatever. They were listening to that type of music. I remember I met one of them a couple of years after this whole thing, like early 2000, I think. And he said, "You inspired me so much. You played us the album." So he was really inspired by that, and he went on to become a musician. I think for a time anyway. I don't know what he does now because I haven't seen him in 15 years or whatever. But he took that. Because I was not the typical teacher. He sort of related to me in a different way. I was also not that much older than them, so that helped a lot too, I think, for people. So I don't know if I did the greatest job, but I think I did an okay job overall.
Oh, that's so nice. And it is so nice that at the time you were able to do that, and then HAMMERFALL, and then since the first album you went out on tour.
Yeah.
So that is so nice. That is so nice.
Yeah.
So I would like to know now about the future plans for HAMMERFALL, because obviously we know what's going on. The world is stopped in regards to shows and all that stuff, but we are already hearing about some band confirmations for next year's festival. So I'll let you talk about it because we want to know what's going to happen with HAMMERFALL regards to next year.
Well, we have a few festivals, like I said earlier, planned or booked. Most of them are rebooks from last year that we managed to sort of work again, get to work again. But again, who knows if they're actually going to happen? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But our plan has been for since day one, basically. For this, we had a 3-year plan that we release Dominion, we go on tour for 2 years, and then we try to work on a new album in the meantime, and then get the new album out in 2022. And that's still the plan. We're not going to rush anything just because we're having more downtime time now. To be honest, it's a bit difficult to get inspired to write music right now because I need that, like the highs and from being on stage. That's a powerful ingredient for me to get inspired to write music, for the creativity. And there's none of that going around right now. I know Joachim feels the same way. We need the boost of that to just feel like, oh fuck yes, let's go, and then write some music. But we have stuff planned, like music. I have music recorded, and we have songs that we're working on. But we're not going to rush into doing anything next year. There's not going to be a Hammerfall album out in 2021 because, I mean, can you imagine how many people are going to, or how many bands are going to put out albums next year? It's going to be
Yeah,
crazy. So we're going
quite
to stick to
crazy.
our original plan. Yes, absolutely. And the same with touring if that ever opens up next year. But we'll see what happens. But so for Hammerfall, hopefully the shows that we have scheduled now will happen next year. And if not, we'll have to work something else out. But new Hammerfall album 2022 is the plan right now. But we did start something during this pandemic thing, that just to keep ourselves doing something. It's called Hammerfall TV, and it's a live stream stuff that we do on YouTube and Facebook. And I did this for 3 months. I went through every album of Hammerfall and talked about the recordings, the songwriting, just stuff regarding that album, surrounding that album. And that was a lot of fun. We took a break for the summer, but we're planning on getting back to regular programming now again. Just have to, really find some interesting things to talk about. But we've done a couple of shows, so that's just something that we, instead of doing live stream concerts, we do live stream talk shows, basically. Where we talk about people, we talk about stuff with people, and that's basically what we're going to do going forward. It's a lot of fun. It's like kind of creating a television show in a way. Of course, not as big as that, but it still needs preparations and research and stuff to do that. So that's something that's kept us busy, and that's been a lot of fun to do as well. So we're going to continue doing that.
Oh, that's so cool. Hammerfall is coming to the modern era, and now the next thing is open a Twitch channel for Hammerfall.
I actually do have a Twitch channel. Not Hammerfall, but me, I do.
Oh, no way.
No, it's an online gaming channel. I had a session yesterday, actually, last night. So I'm trying to do that as much as I can. It's not. It's only gaming so far, and that's why I started, because that's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
And it's twitch.tv/my name, in just no captions, no nothing, just Oscar Dronjak. And
God.
It's so much fun. I started doing it just in June, I think, or whenever it was early, but I didn't continue with it. But now after the summer, I felt like I'm gonna stick to this now, and so I do at least two shows every week. It's not a schedule, but I do it whenever I find time. Like today is a good day because the kid's not going to go to bed yet, or whatever it is. I know, because I have to mix things up with the family and stuff. But so that's a lot of fun. That's actually what I'm thinking about the most at the moment, is the Twitch channel, because it's something I've been wanting to do for years. I just never got around to doing it, and then when I finally did it, I realized it's a lot of fun to do it. So
It is.
If people want to check that out, I'm very happy to have you following me on that. It's just going to be gaming for now, but I'm just starting to discover what you can do with Twitch. So we'll see how that develops in the future. But it's so much fun, and I like to game a lot. So very across different platforms. So if you're interested in gaming and Hammerfall, you can check that out if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something, and you guys that are watching the interview, I'm sorry for this, but I'm gonna ask Oscar, after I say bye to the interview, stay with me just only 30 seconds to discuss one quick thing about it, yeah?
Sure.
So guys, now you know, follow him on Twitch. If you're a gaming fan, we all are in here pretty much. So it is amazing to hear about hopefully happening Hammerfall shows on the 2021. But hey, we know that at least even if the worst scenario, we're still having a new album coming in 2022. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, it's a plan anyway. We haven't it's gonna happen. Yes, it's great.
It's gonna happen. Stay positive.
Yeah.
It is gonna happen. Come on, whatever happens, at least we're at home, so at least you can guys do some music,
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Cool. So I'm really fingers crossed to see you guys hopefully next year, and hopefully in Spain, because every time
hopefully
you come here, you get massive fans of Hammerfall over here. And I saw your crowd last year in Leyendas of Rock, and it was absolutely crazy. They were all singing all the songs, and I was like, I'm a fan, but this guy is wow. I'm nothing compared to these guys,
No, it's always we have a really good relationship with the Spanish fans as well, since we've done every tour almost that we've ever done, and especially the early ones were always including Spain. And it's special to play in south of Europe, especially. But Spanish fans have been also with us almost since day one, I should say, actually. So coming back to Spain is something that we look forward to always, because like exactly what you said, people are crazy. They make the show so much better just by being there and be having fun. So hopefully, like, fingers crossed, make sure that things will happen next year. Oh, I mean, next year. Yeah, next summer.
Exactly. So hopefully see you guys next summer. And Oscar,
Yes.
honestly, it is always great to talk to you, and it's always great to have all the insights that you gave to EMP and to myself. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully. Thank you so much for doing the interview. And take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Never forgive, never forget. Just embrace it, run the gauntlet, down south of the road. Guns are blazing, hell is racing, call for control. Combat fast and furious, behind the enemy line. The dragon lady fuels the fire, rain hell from the sky. Never forget.